is Luke from RetroRevival here, and as you can see today I'm doing another custom LEGO minifigures video, and today it is Game of Thrones. So here we have 8 awesome figures of some of the biggest characters on the show, and this is a show that I only actually started watching a few months ago. I've finished it now. God damn, that final season is bad. But the first, maybe 5 I actually really enjoy, and then they just slowly get worse and worse until you have the dumpster fire that is the last season of Game of Thrones. But let's not talk about that now. Let's talk about the positives and how awesome these figures are. So starting on the back row and then working to the front, we have Sansa Stark, the Night King, Cersei and Jaime Lannister, Tyrion Lannister, Daenerys Targaryen, Jon Snow, and then Arya Stark. So guys, without further ado, let's get into the figures. So first up is the main man himself, Jon Snow, my favourite character in the entire show. And this figure is absolutely awesome. So I'm going to start off where I always do, on the hair. And this hair mould is perfect for Jon Snow. At least later on Jon Snow. I mean, it's not like at the start of the show, but you can tell exactly who it is from this hair and the combination of the face. Now this face is perfect as well. Of course, it's got his beard and his eyes, and there's some scars on his face. This just looks exactly like Jon Snow. So of course he's in his Night Watch uniform, and you can see the ruffles up here, which is like the fur, and he's got his black cape. Of course they're called the Crows, so of course they're wearing all black. Now let's go down to the torso, and this is really detailed. You can see his black leather armor, and you can see loads of buckles, and you can see loads and loads of detail on there. That you can see the bit coming down the middle, where it's, I guess you could say, it sort of zips up or buttons up or whatever, and you can see like there's some pads up at the top, and this is just really detailed. Then going down to his legs, you can see he's got a grey belt with a gold buckle, and there's loads of details on there, and you can see where the leather has been sewn together on his legs, with loads of grey creases and just loads of detail. This is a great figure. Now of course you can't see the back and the sides because there's a cape covering it, but there is this absolutely awesome sword, and it is ridiculously long, but his sword is called Longclaw, so it sort of fits. But this is just an absolutely brilliant mould. But if you wanted to see him from behind, this is what it looks like. And next up we have Arya Stark, or Arya. It doesn't really matter how you say it, I say Arya. And this figure's sort of basic. To start off with her hair mould, it is brown, and she's got like this bob, and I'm pretty sure she doesn't have anything like this in the show, but I guess it's the most close hair mold they can have. Then going down to the face, this is also really just basic, and you can tell it's a girl, but you know, although to be fair, she doesn't really have any defining features anyway. But then going down to the torso, she has this brown jacket on, and you can see there's a little bit of green underneath, and there's some ruffles up there. There's a lot of detail on there, and she's got a belt with a golden buckle. She's also just got plain beige legs, but these are the short kind, and I think it would have been brilliant if this figure came with Needle, the little sword she carries around with it the entire show. But oh well, there is no printing on the side or the back. The next figure is Arya's older sister, Sansa Stark, and you can tell who this is by looking at it. However, I do have some critiques. Let's start off with the hair. I think the mould's pretty good, but it's just not red enough, it's not ginger enough, and I think to make this figure more recognisable, the hair would need to be more red. Now going down to the face, this is really basic, and to be honest it doesn't really look like Sansa at all, and for some reason she's got brown lips. I don't know why that is. But then going down to the torso, this is very detailed. You can see that she's got a patterned dress on, and she's got this fabric up at the top. I can't really tell what this is, but it just looks really cool, and it's really nice and detailed. But you can see that this has been sewn up, because you can see these little bits of fabric tying it together, and you can see where it's fastened up in the middle going down to the bottom of the dress, and as I've already said, you can see the pattern underneath. Then going down to the, well, I was about to say legs, but it's more of a block. The pattern continues down, and it actually goes pretty seamless, to be fair, and you can see the middle of the dress going down, and you can see a little bit under the dress as well. Her arms are completely plain, the same like brownish colour that the dress is, and she's got a black cape on. There's no printing on the sides, and you can't see any printing underneath because of the black cape. So the next figure is the Mother of Dragons herself, Daenerys Targaryen. And starting off with the hair, it is the complete wrong colour. This is yellow, and her hair is quite famously like a whitish blonde in the show, so this colour is just completely off. But the hair mould itself is actually okay. Then going down to her face, I don't like this either. Her lips look really weird for some reason. They are red, but she's only got a bottom lip. I think this is just an error in the printing. But she's got her eyes, but they're just really boring and bland. Then going down to the torso, I think this is the best part of this figure. And this is very accurate to the show. She's got like this weird like dog choker necklace thing on. And then you can see part of her chest. But then you can see her blue like dress sort of thing. And you can see where it folds and it just wraps around her with lots of lines, and it's just really detailed. Then going down to the legs, this dress like overcoat thing continues to the legs with the blue. And you can see like her underclothes, I guess you could say, like her trousers. Right here with just loads of detail, and there's some brown stripes, and you can see her shoes. This is just a really nice part of the figure. Then going to the side, there's a little bit of printing on the legs, but not much. You can just see where her shoes are and a crease on the dress. Now going to the back, you can see that the blue hasn't continued onto the back of the legs, so it looks really weird. But there is a tiny bit of printing on the back of the torso, but you can't see it anyway because the hair's in the way. So the next figure is the Night King, and the Night King is actually kind of disappointing in the show because they kind of just ruin his character and he just does nothing. But anyway, they made a figure of him, and I actually really like this figure. His, I guess you could say, like his crown sort of thing on his head. I don't really know what to call this, but he's got like these spikes on his head that kind of looks like a crown. And this is a really nice piece that they've used. I'm pretty sure they used this on Darth Maul, but in the show it matches his face, and it doesn't on this figure. But going down to his face, this part is really good. Of course, it's blue, and he's got a lot of details on there. No nose, but none of the Lego figures have noses anyway. But he's got completely white eyes, and you can see how his, like, I guess you could call them eyebrows, but they're not really, sort of slant up. And you can see, like, his icy cheekbones, I guess you could say. He also has his spear, which he uses in the show. And I don't want to spoil what he uses this spear for in the show, but it's a big part. Then going down to the torso, this is also extremely detailed in a lot of grey and silver, with lots of like stripes and lines to sort of show like his armour, I guess you could say. And there's this white patch in the middle. This is just really nice and detailed. It's also really nice and detailed on his legs. I'd say the colours are a little bit too different, but I'm just being picky. There's also these white and grey and silver stripes on the legs, and there's some black tips of the shoes. This is just really nice. There's no printing on the side, but you can see his spear a bit better. And there's even more printing on the back, and it pretty much just mirrors the front with the stripes and lines all over the back. So now we start on the Lannisters, and first up is probably everyone's favourite one, Tyrion Lannister. And this is very early Tyrion Lannister because he hasn't got his scar yet on his face. And let's start off with the hair. I think this hair's actually pretty spot on. I can't think of any other hair mould that would fit early Tyrion more than this one. And it's around the right shade. Then going down to the face, this is also pretty good. It does cover up his eye because the hair mould's so big. But you can also see his beard, and he's got sort of a concerned look on his face. So this is actually a pretty good face. Then going down to the torso, he's got like this sort of tunic thing on, I guess you could say. I don't really know what to call this part of clothing, this top half, so I'm just calling it like a tunic sort of jacket thing. But this is in a wine colour, which sort of alludes to his drinking problem over there. But he's also got some gold detailing on there to sort of show his Lannister colours with the red and gold. He's also got some darker detail on there with some creases and some lines, and you can see where it sort of fastens together in the middle, and his collar. His arms and legs are the same very dark brown colour, and he comes with a golden goblet. He has no printing on the sides or on the back. So next up is the Mother of Madness, Cersei Lannister. Such a great character in the show, and I'm not a huge fan of this figure. And my main problem is the hair. For most of the show, Cersei has long hair, and for some reason they've gone with the short-haired version of Cersei, and I would have preferred the long hair. And I'd say her hair colour is a little bit off, and I don't think this hair mould actually replicates Cersei's short hair anyway. So basically what I'm trying to say is I would have preferred the long hair on Cersei Lannister. But then going down to the face, this is pretty basic, but it's better than a lot of the faces that are in this set. She's got a very stern look on her face. She's got her eyes, eyebrows, and her lips. So this is an okay face. But then going down to the torso, this is very, very detailed. And I'm pretty sure this is season 7 or 8 Cersei Lannister, because I remember distinctly seeing this outfit in the show. So on the torso, she's got a lot of detail, and of course she's got a patterned dress on. This looks really nice. She's then got some chains around her neck, and she's got like these two little shoulder pads made out of metal. Then of course the bottom half of this figure is exactly the same. It's kind of like Sansa, where it's not really legs, it's like this sloped piece to show her dress. And she's just got some creases which continue from the top, and of course the pattern, and there's a little line going right down the middle of this figure. Now on the side of this figure there is some printing on the arm, just to show that shoulder pad and the pattern of the dress. And on the back you can see there are two lines just to show where it's been sewn together, and of course the pattern is continuing with the shoulder pads. And the final figure today is the Kingslayer Jaime Lannister. Now this is very early on Jaime Lannister, because he's got long hair and he's also got another certain body part. But let's start off with his hair, and I think this mold is perfect for early on Jaime, and it's the right colour, so it gets a thumbs up from me. Then going down to the face, you can see he's got like a stubble sort of beard going on, which matches his hair, and he's got a bit of a cocky smirk on his face, and of course he's got his eyes. Then going down to the torso, you can't actually see it because there is this chest plate in the way, like this armour, and this is really detailed. This is perfect. I literally can't think of a better way to show this. But you can see that there's a little bit of grey up at the top here on the shoulders, and then it's a golden chest plate. I think this is when he was in the Kingsguard, and you can see the white detailing on the front, and then there's quite a dark shade right here, which also shows a lot of detail, so this is great. Then going on to the legs, these are white with this silver sort of honeycomb shape on it. This of course is showing some like chainmail, armour sort of stuff, and this just looks really nice. Then on the side you can see there's a little bit of that chainmail again on the shoulder of the arm, although it's not showing up very easily on the camera. There isn't any printing anywhere else on the side. However, he does have this sword. And then of course on the back you can't see any printing underneath because of this white cape. So guys, here are the figures at the end, and as I always do, I'm going to say which figure is my favourite and which is my least favourite. Now, if it's not obvious by my reviews of these figures, then I would say my favourite is Jon Snow. That figure is absolutely awesome. And I'd probably say my least favourite is Daenerys, right there. And why don't you guys let me know what is your favourite figure and what's your least favourite figure of the bunch in the comments below. And if you're interested, why don't you check out some of my other custom LEGO minifigure videos. I've got a playlist up on my channel right now, so go and check them out. So guys, I've been Luke from RetroRevival. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Bye.